Have you ever wondered if your DNA could speak? If it could tell stories of triumph, resilience, and survival through the ages? Imagine a genetic blueprint that chronicles not just your ancestry but the struggles and victories of an entire people. For the Zulu people of South Africa, their DNA is precisely that, a living testament to their journey through time. From the migration of their ancestors thousands of years ago to their rise as one of the most powerful cultural and political forces in southeastern Africa, the story encoded in their genes is nothing short of extraordinary. But how can strands of DNA reveal the tale of a people who overcame environmental hardships, resisted colonial forces, and thrived despite adversity? In this video, we'll unravel the secrets hidden in the Zulu genome. We'll explore how their DNA serves as a bridge between their ancient roots and their modern identity, showcasing their incredible ability to adapt and endure. The Zulu story isn't just history. It's living proof of the strength and resilience carried forward through generations. Let's dive in and discover how the Zulu people's DNA tells a story of strength like no other. The story of the Zulu people begins thousands of years ago, amidst one of the greatest migrations in human history, the Bantu expansion. This remarkable journey saw waves of Bantu-speaking communities move southward from Western Africa, spreading their agricultural expertise, ironworking skills, and livestock-rearing practices across the continent. By the mid-first millennium, some of these groups had reached southeastern Africa, encountering the indigenous Khoisan people. The two communities began to intermingle, with the Khoisan contributing valuable traits to the Zulu gene pool. Traits like resistance to harsh climates and adaptations for a diet reliant on foraging. These genetic exchanges would play a critical role in shaping the unique biological profile of the Zulu people. Fast forward to the 16th century, the Zulu ancestors arrived in what we now call KwaZulu-Natal, settling amidst fertile grasslands and abundant water sources. They began to cultivate a way of life centered on cattle, family, and community, a legacy that remains integral to their identity today. Yet, their story doesn't just lie in cultural traditions or historical records. It is etched into their DNA. The genetic diversity within the Zulu people reveals traces of their long migrations, interactions with neighboring tribes, and adaptations to survive changing landscapes. The very resilience encoded in their genes hints at the challenges they faced and the ingenuity they showed in overcoming them. But what makes the Zulu's genetic story even more extraordinary is how it connects them not just to their past, but to each other, a testament to their enduring unity and strength as a people. The Bantu migration is often called one of the most significant human movements in history. It wasn't just a journey of people but of ideas, technologies, and a way of life that would shape the African continent for generations. At its core, this migration was a story of resilience, ingenuity, and adaptation, qualities that remain deeply rooted in the Zulu people today. Starting around 3,000 years ago, the Bantu ancestors began migrating from the forests of West Africa, spreading southeast in waves. They brought with them groundbreaking innovations, like iron smelting and advanced agricultural techniques, which allowed them to thrive in new territories. Their journey wasn't without challenges. They had to adapt to unfamiliar environments and navigate encounters with indigenous communities like the Khoisan. It was in southeastern Africa, where the ancestors of the Zulu people eventually settled, that these interactions left a lasting genetic imprint. DNA evidence reveals that Khoisan gene flow added layers of diversity to the Zulu genome, enhancing traits such as disease resistance and environmental adaptability. This melding of genetic lineages wasn't just about survival. It created a foundation for strength and endurance. The Zulu people's genetic identity, shaped by the vast Bantu migration, tells a story of interconnectedness. It ties them to other Bantu-speaking groups, while also highlighting the unique adaptations that came from their environment and interactions along the way. Their DNA reflects centuries of growth, struggle, and triumph, an enduring symbol of how migration and mingling can create something truly extraordinary. One of the most fascinating aspects of Zulu genetics lies in the influence of the Khoisan people. Known as some of the oldest genetic lineages in the world, the Khoisan were southern Africa's original inhabitants, with a deep connection to the land and its challenges. When Bantu-speaking ancestors, including those of the Zulu, migrated into southern Africa, they encountered and intermingled with the Khoisan. This genetic blending created a legacy of strength and adaptability that is still present in the Zulu people today. The Khoisan contribution to the Zulu genome is more than a historical artifact. It has real-world implications. Genetic research shows that this admixture enhanced traits such as endurance, immune system efficiency, and resilience to diseases. For example, Khoisan genes are associated with adaptations to arid climates, giving their descendants an edge in environments where water and resources are scarce. These traits, carried into the Zulu genome, equip them to thrive in the challenging landscapes of KwaZulu-Natal. Even the diversity in physical appearance among the Zulu, ranging from variations in skin tone to unique facial features, echoes this genetic connection to the Khoisan. It's a living testament to how blending lineages can result in a population equipped to face a wide array of environmental challenges. But beyond biology, this genetic story holds cultural significance. The intermingling of Bantu and Khoisan isn't just about survival. It's a symbol of collaboration and coexistence. The Zulu people's genetic traits are a reminder of the power of connection, showing that strength often comes from unity and diversity. The Zulu people, one of the largest ethnic groups in South Africa, carry a rich genetic tapestry that reflects both their shared ancestry and the unique diversity within their population. Recent genetic studies reveal that the Zulu exhibit significant genetic variation, showcasing the intricate web of connections that shaped their heritage over centuries. A major contributor to this diversity is the distinct substructure found within the Zulu population, which aligns with both geography and historical migration patterns. In KwaZulu-Natal, where most Zulu people reside, regional differences in genetic traits emerge due to centuries of semi-isolated communities adapting to local environments. From the coastal plains to the rugged mountains, each population carries subtle genetic markers tied to their surroundings, reflecting their resilience and adaptability. Interestingly, despite this variation, the Zulu have retained a strong genetic coherence, making them a prime example of how cultural unity can coexist with genetic diversity. Researchers attribute this balance to historical practices like the exchange of livestock, trade networks, and the movement of people between communities, which facilitated genetic flow without diluting their core identity. This genetic structure also highlights the Zulus' connections to other groups. They share common ancestry with other southeastern Bantu-speaking populations, but they also exhibit unique features that distinguish them from their neighbors. These distinctions serve as a biological record of the Zulus' migration into southern Africa, their encounters with the Khoisan, and their adaptation to the diverse landscapes of the region. The Zulu people's genetic diversity isn't just a scientific marvel. It's a celebration of their enduring spirit. It reflects a population that has adapted, thrived, and remained connected to its roots while embracing the complexities of their shared history. The Zulu people's genetic story is a living chronicle of their historical interactions and the flow of genes across generations. These interactions tell of migration, cultural exchange, and the complex relationships that have shaped their identity. When the ancestors of the Zulu migrated southward during the Bantu expansion, they encountered the indigenous Khoisan people. This meeting wasn't merely a clash of cultures but a blending of genes. The Khoisan contributed a unique genetic imprint, most evident in maternal lines, reflecting a history of interaction often marked by shared communities and alliances. But the story doesn't stop there. Over centuries, the Zulu adapted to their new environment, forming close ties with neighboring Bantu-speaking groups like the Xhosa and Swazi. These relationships contributed to a continuous exchange of genetic material, strengthening their connection to the broader southeastern Bantu family. Later, colonial history added another layer to this tapestry. European settlers and the disruptions they brought led to new patterns of movement and interaction. In some cases, this led to genetic mixing, particularly in areas where Zulu communities interacted with other ethnic groups drawn by trade, labor, or conflict. One of the most fascinating insights from genetic research is how these interactions enrich the Zulus' genetic diversity while maintaining a core identity. Their DNA reflects resilience, with evidence of adaptations to diseases, harsh climates, and dietary changes over generations. It's a testament to their ability to thrive through shifting circumstances without losing their sense of self. The story of gene flow in the Zulu population is more than a scientific discovery. It's a reminder of the interconnectedness of humanity. Each interaction, whether through migration or cultural exchange, weaves another thread into the rich tapestry of their heritage. In Zulu culture, the connection between their heritage and their identity runs deep, and their understanding of ancestry often mirrors what modern science uncovers through genetics. For the Zulu people, ancestry isn't merely a scientific concept. It's a vital part of their spiritual and cultural existence. At the heart of their traditions is the belief in Amadlozi, the ancestral spirits who guide, protect, and connect the living to the past. These spirits are honored in rituals and ceremonies that reaffirm the Zulus' deep ties to their lineage. This respect for ancestry aligns beautifully with the revelations of genetic science, which also traces lines of descent, revealing connections across generations and geographies. Zulu traditions emphasize the importance of maintaining bloodlines and understanding one's roots. Rituals like Ukibayasa, which involves welcoming a wandering spirit back into the family, reflect this. Such customs are echoed in genetic studies, which confirm how interconnected Zulu communities are, both through their own lineage and through historical interactions with other groups. Interestingly, the Zulu belief in the strength of their heritage parallels scientific findings about genetic resilience. Generations of living in challenging environments have given the Zulu adaptations that include resistance to certain diseases and an ability to thrive in diverse climates. These traits are not just markers of survival but are celebrated as part of their enduring legacy. Even the Zulu language carries echoes of their genetic and cultural history. As part of the Nguni language family, it shares similarities with other Bantu languages, further linking the Zulu to their broader ancestral roots. This linguistic heritage is a cultural counterpart to the genetic stories written in their DNA, offering another layer to their identity. In Zulu thought, the past, present, and future are inextricably linked. Just as genetic science reveals how the past shapes the present, Zulu traditions show us how deeply their people honor this continuity. It's a reminder that the Zulu story is not just one of survival but one of profound connection to their ancestors, their culture, and the land they call home. The story of the Zulu people, as told through their genetics, isn't just a tale of the past, it's a glimpse into their future. As genetic science advances, it holds the power to safeguard their heritage and ensure that future generations carry the legacy of their ancestors. But this future isn't without its challenges. One of the biggest threats is the loss of genetic diversity due to modernization and interbreeding with other groups. For centuries, the Zulu have relied on traditions to preserve their lineage, but today, globalization has introduced new dynamics. While cultural exchange can be enriching, it also risks diluting the unique genetic traits that define the Zulu. This challenge mirrors the concerns about biodiversity in nature. Once lost, unique traits are nearly impossible to recover. Efforts to preserve the Zulu genome face another hurdle: the stigma and misunderstanding surrounding genetic studies. Some view these efforts with skepticism, seeing them as invasive or unnecessary. It's crucial to emphasize that understanding genetics isn't about controlling heritage but celebrating and preserving it. Modern science can play a transformative role in this preservation. Genetic studies could help identify rare traits within the Zulu population, such as adaptations to diseases or unique health markers. These findings could inform medical research, offering benefits not just to the Zulu but to broader humanity. At the same time, they can help establish sustainable conservation programs to protect the Zulu sheep and crops that have co-evolved with the people and their environment. Community involvement will be critical in navigating this future. By engaging Zulu leaders, elders, and scholars, genetic research can align with the community's values, ensuring that preservation efforts honor their cultural identity. Projects that combine science with traditional knowledge, like using ancestral stories to contextualize genetic findings, can strengthen this partnership. The Zulu people's DNA tells a story of strength and resilience, but preserving that story requires a delicate balance. It's not just about looking inward but about adapting to a world that's rapidly changing while staying rooted in traditions. By embracing both heritage and science, the Zulu can ensure that their genetic story continues to inspire generations to come.